Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is a join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that. Well, President Hakainde Hichilema has been trending the past couple of hours based off some statements that he had made. I think he was holding the last meeting for the UPND officials at their HQ in Lusaka, and he made some statements that have gone viral. But at the core of the statements that he made was simply sending a message to anybody that intends to unseat him as president in 2026 or the UPND, telling them to say it's not going to be an easy battle because anyway, let me read you the extracts of what happened at the Secretariat. That's trending, and obviously I give you the reaction of the other side of the aisle. But pretty much it was like UPND has been in opposition for 23 years, and now they formed government. So for anyone to think they will unseat him as president and the UPND easily, they have something else coming. And then he goes on to say, "Iconama," meaning hell no or no. And then that sentiment is trending on itself. Some of the extracts from that particular speech that was given are these. These are words from President Hakainde Hichilema. He says, these heads that God gave us, we should use them properly, use them to talk about development. That's attributed to President Hakainde Hichilema. And then he went further to say, instead of thanking us for restructuring the debt they left, they are just criticizing. President Hakainde Hichilema obviously addressing that to Edgar Chagwa and the PF, saying they are supposed to be thankful for him, Hakainde Hichilema, to have restructured the debt, and like the criticism that he is receiving from them. You have to be strong to push us out of a government that we suffered the most brutality because it is resilient and strong, Hakainde Hichilema. So that's a statement where he says UPND has been in opposition for 23 years. For anyone to just think they'll wake up and come and push him out of government, they have a battle on their hand because they are very resilient and strong because of the brutality they are alleged to have faced in the opposition under the PF rule. And then the president also goes further to say national service volunteers to be prioritized in defense security recruitment. So cabinet has approved the return of voluntary national service program aimed at instilling resilience and discipline in young people, which will then provide employment to the volunteers. So simply saying national service is back at the national core. Cabinet has approved that. And those that are intending to join any of the defense forces, police, armies, and the Air Force, ZNS, if you intend to go that route, it's highly recommended that you go through that voluntary training, because those are the people that will be prioritized before they open it up to anybody else. Most likely it will get to a point where only those people that have gone through that training are going to go into these particular fields. So cabinet has approved that, starting off this coming 2025. That's what's going to be. The president was communicating that. And then Shifetari just simply says Plan B. Obviously, you know, when people refer to Plan B, they're referring to Edgar Lungu's statements earlier on, because there are a number of by-elections that are coming up and that have been announced. So that's what he was just responding to. And then cabinet has approved the voluntary national service program aimed at instilling resilience and discipline among young people, which will in turn provide employment. President Hichilema has revealed that they will sponsor some youth from 10 provinces for national service. So that's what's going on there. Obviously, the same news. And then Parliament has approved the construction of 108 million United. Government has approved the construction of 108 million US dollars, a non-concessional loan from the African Development Bank, which contracted in the range of 5 to 6% interest rate, with increased grace period to 8 years from initial 5 years ZNBC. So if you remember, the Speaker of the National Assembly had recalled for an emergency meeting of members of Parliament to come from their leave, come and approve that. That's what has happened. So it's been approved. The Anti-Corruption Commissioner has arrested and charged 2 public prosecutors, both aged 40 and working under the National Prosecution Authority, NPA, Kalomo District, identified as Juliet Banda and Mwandi for corrupt practices involving 17,000 kwacha. And then President Hakainde Hichilema tomorrow, meaning today, to this morning, officiate at the National Prayer for Rain, which will be held at the Anglican Cathedral of the Holy Cross from 9 hours to 12 hours. So they are praying for the rain today, a couple of hours. But finally, ECZ has announced JJ Banda's verdict. So as you remember, JJ Banda has been on the run pretty much for close to 3 months, if not more, from the time that he escaped from Chipata General Hospital. And the speaker decided to put up his seat for, she gave him an ultimatum to show up in Parliament. If not, his seat would be nullified, which she did. And then they communicated that to ECZ, and ECZ has decided to announce. Today is like the 19th of December 2024, and ECZ has announced this. So Petauke Central by-election set for February 6th, 2025. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has set Thursday, 16th February, Thursday, 6th February 2025 as a date for which the Petauke Central Constituency by-elections will be held. So meaning from now going then should be election season in Petauke. We wait and see how that plays out. I'm pretty sure both parties that are strong, that is the UPND and the PF, are already focusing on Kawamba, because Kawamba will be voting just in a couple of hours from now. The elections will be taking place there. So once that passes, even before the results are given, they are moving into Petauke, because February is just nearby. Whichever candidates that they pick, they will need to start doing their groundwork there immediately. Obviously, the PF also report the same news. Just in the Electoral Commission of Zambia announced February 6th, 2025 as a date for by-elections in Petauke, which fell vacant following the mysterious disappearance of former Member of Parliament Emmanuel Banda, JJ Banda there. And then that's the communique that came from ECZ there, notifying the public. Obviously, the news also is on Kalemba say JJ Banda has become ineligible for Petauke. ECZ's set seat by-elections. So the parliamentary seat for fugitive lawmaker Emmanuel Banda has finally been declared vacant and ready to be occupied by a different candidate following JJ Banda's 3 months missing episode. So yeah, I was right. He's been missing the last 3 months. And there's been a request to say he's in Zimbabwe. Even Home Affairs Minister Jack Mumbo had announced to say he's in Zimbabwe, and they're coordinating with the Zimbabwean government to have him extradited to Zambia, but that has failed. Of course, nothing has come of that since that announcement. So we wait and see what comes of these by-elections next year. So pretty much next year is going to be a hive of by-elections. Right after that, the convention by-elections are going to follow. Chief Atayali also weighs in on the same. So Chief Atayali says another by-election after Petauke. It will be Pembesha, meaning the one for Chitotela, the one who was just recently convicted 10 years imprisonment for arson and with hard labor. You know which one of my concern is the lack of capacity from the opposition. United Party for National Development, or UPND, is likely to win these by-elections because they are the only ones with money, and by-elections are mostly influenced by money. So simply giving a prediction to say all these by-elections that are coming up, most likely the UPND is going to carry the day, because they are highly influenced by money and gifts that you give the people on the ground. We wait and see how that plays out. But yeah, that's his prediction. And then also, Mwimbu exempts more countries from obtaining visas to Zambia. So Home Affairs means Jack Mwimbu held a press briefing to update the nation on visa waivers requirements for 53 additional countries to Zambia, opening its borders to. Then he says, so there are more, which brings the total, listen, the development brings the total number of countries whose nationals are exempt from visa requirements once 100 in Zambia to 167. So 167 countries are exempt visa free to come into Zambia, as announced by Home Affairs Minister there. Then obviously, Cornelius Bweto's statement, a mockery to Zambian suffering. This is a statement that is coming from Fletcher Kalobwe from the Socialist Party. It says, I find the recent remarks by Honorable Cornelius Bweto, government chief spokesperson and the UPA and the UPND to be an insult to millions of Zambians who continue to endure untold suffering under his government. Watch. Moiters claimed that this government has transformed more lives in the last 3 years than ever before, only misled by the blatant denial of the harsh reality on the ground. So Moiters simply says more people are living better under the UPND. That's what that guy was responding to there. And then Mutitaiche donates farming inputs to Ngoma constituency. So that's an activity coming from the office of the First Lady there. Then you see those images. And then I am not compromised. That's the DPP in the daily liberation. Also, Kambeshe headed for by-election. That's the one that I was talking about. Right after JJ's by-election, the one that will take place in Petauke, this is the next one. So most likely, this might be announced for February, March, not March, April, one of those two. But yeah, as soon as that passes, that's the next by-election there. If not more, will appear before we get to the general elections in 2026. IMF approves a fourth review. Review disperses $184 million to Zambia. So that's the IMF release of funds. And then the commander after hearing High Corner man. So referring to President Hakainde Hichilema's statement earlier on at the UPND HQ, where he says moving the UPND is not happening anytime soon, according to him. It's a news, ladies and gentlemen.